The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you've had a beautiful week, and I love the opportunity to connect with all of you on Wednesdays because it's a moment for us to pause, take a deep breath together in the middle of the week, and really make sure that we're staying on purpose in our lives, that our lives are not running us, that we're really developing the practice of living our life on purpose and with purpose. And we have been focused on thriving, really overcoming challenges in April, and how can we step into life in a vibrant and thriving and meaningful way that really is playing to our strengths. And today, what we're going to be focusing on is how to go through transitions. Because if you are living on purpose, if you are moving forward, you're going to be facing transitions, and we really want you empowered in that. And then how to, as we're doing that, really step into your $1 million zone. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could really powerfully step into our $1 million zone and live our life in that way? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But to really prepare us, I want to invite you to sit back and make sure you're actually ready to hear, that your heart and your ears are open. And actually, it's a great technique if you rub your ears and you kind of stretch them out a little bit. I promise they stay attached. They're very safe to touch. But I invite you to go ahead and just kind of massage them a little bit, stretch them so they're really ready to hear. And actually, there are acupuncture points all along your ear that tie into your body. So it's actually awakening your whole body, mind, body, soul, and spirit when you rub your ears a little bit and kind of stretch them. Make sure that blood's flowing so that you can truly hear what we have for you today. Because I promise, if you are on this call, there's a reason, there's a purpose. It's not an accident that you've decided to listen in today. And I want you to get everything that's waiting for you today. So deep breath, breathe that in, have our ears open. And actually, here's the technique to really open up your heart. You actually tap right on your breastbone there, right in the center. If you tap on that, light tapping, not hard, you're not trying to bruise, just a light tapping, that actually activates your heart chakra and helps open up that area, because I want to bring all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So just take a moment to tap, activate that area as well. So we've got our ears open, our heart ready to receive the messages that are here for us today. Another deep breath. And I wanted to share with you just a story or a share, I should say. It's not even really a story, but a share. This past weekend, I should say, on the 18th, I had an opportunity to share from the stage at my event, and it's Get Ready to Thrive. I have Women's Empowerment Series events throughout the year, and this one was really focused on the same subject of really being able to thrive in our life and live on purpose. And I shared some of my story more in depth than I had in the past, really coming from a background of abuse and having those ups and downs in life. And as I went on my healing journey, what I discovered was true. Because when I had been in that environment of abuse for year after year after year after year, I lost hope. And I believed it was my fault, that there must be something wrong with me, that I'm not okay. And ultimately, that it's not safe to be seen or heard. And I visited that environment until I was 18 years old. So even though I was rescued, I had to keep going back. And as I eventually was permanently rescued and I was able to go on my healing journey, I learned some important truths. I learned that I was actually beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose and for a purpose, that I mattered, that it wasn't my fault, that I made a difference just by being me, and ultimately that it was safe to be seen and heard. And that was the part that was the hardest for me, because even though intellectually I knew I wasn't in mortal danger when I would take a stage or I would stand up in front and even say my name, my body would remember what went on before and would try to shut me down, try to keep me safe, try to close my throat off so I wouldn't say words that might make me be seen and vulnerable. And that was the hardest part for me to go through on my journey, is coming through hiding to really stepping forward in a bright way, in an authentic way, like, here I am. How can I serve? And what I learned through that journey is thriving is a choice. It's not based on circumstances. It's a choice that we make to live life on purpose and to really not just survive, but thrive. And my desire, as we're talking about the content today that we're going to share with you and our wisdom and our tips, is to help you gain some tools to help you live a thriving life, not just a surviving life, but a thriving life. And here's the personal story in that. So even more personal than what I just shared. My dad was there. And it was the first time he'd ever heard me tell my story in that way. And the first time he'd really seen me take a stage in that way, and really shine and lead a sold-out event of women forward in a powerful way so that they could say yes to thriving in their life. And it was a really special moment for me to be able to share that and look at my dad across the room, and because he remembered all those times I could barely say my name. He was there on that journey as I was trying to even put words and sentences together in front of people. And then he got to be there and celebrate this moment where I'm now a radio show host and I'm published in several books and a best-selling author and a leader. But I wouldn't be here if he hadn't walked beside me on the journey and rescued me. And so it was really neat to be able to acknowledge him in that way too. So I wanted to just share that special moment with you and remind you that thriving is a choice. So what I'd love for us to do is to take a moment and reflect if thriving is a choice. If that is true, what is it that I need today to start living or to step more fully into a thriving life? And here's how I'd like us to do it. For those of you who are driving, please, please, please stay safe, stay alert, eyes open. For those of you, both hands on the wheel, no texting. You can text and share after, but not while you're driving. Please lean back in your chair, those of you who are able to. Let that chair support you. Put one hand on your heart. We've activated that. One hand on your head. We've already opened up those ears. And close your eyes. You are absolutely safe. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. And ask yourself, what is it that I need today? What is it that you need today to step into a thriving life, to make that choice, to go through whatever transitions we need to go through, to step powerfully into our life? Take a deep breath and just listen to the message or the feeling or see the picture that is being given to you. Don't over-screen it. Don't over-analyze it. Just receive the wisdom that your heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit is sharing with you. Sometimes it's a still, quiet voice or picture that we're so busy running from thing to thing, doing, that we don't stop and listen to the wisdom being shared with us. Breathe in one more time. Go ahead and open up your eyes. And I actually invite you to write down what it is that you need today. When we have an intention, when we really know what we're heading towards, what we need, it's a lot easier to recognize it and hear it as it's being handed to us or shared with us. And I want you actively, with anticipation, looking for what it is that you need. One more deep breath together. And I have two amazing guests today that I also wanted to open up the floor and give them an opportunity to share a picture or a thought or a phrase that was laid on their heart during our heart connection moment. So I have the amazing Julie Kramer. Julie, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'm
glad to have you.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so impressed with your mission to bring a more compassionate perspective to the radio show and to the world. I resonate with your vision. And
thank you.
Also, I've just been listening to some of the past radio shows, and I've just been very moved by the life journey of many of the people on your show and just the deep wisdom. But I think what I got from this meditation was just to be reminded of the value of being heart-centered again. Just to remember all the gifts that the heart gives to the world. The love and the caring and compassion and hope and connectedness. All of those things are just so underappreciated and under-highlighted today.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments and honored that those shows have been meaningful and served. And I agree. I think it's so important to remember to be heart-centered, that we have that opportunity every day. And there's great, great value in remembering to pause and listen to our heart and share. So thank you, Julie. I appreciate that share.
You're welcome.
And then our second guest that we have is the dynamic Helen MacMillan. Helen, welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's wonderful to be here, and thank you for that beautiful opening meditation that helped me to drop in and be even more present.
Appreciate that. Did you have a picture or a phrase placed on your heart to share with us?
Yes.
Or a reminder?
The reminder is that the word that came through was support. And to remember that this is not a journey that we take alone.
Yes.
And that everything we need is provided for us. We have to, so the image is of one hand taking another, a joining of hands, and so that we move forward, whether it be a walking alongside or a hand up to help pull someone up. So
beautiful. Thank you so much for that beautiful reminder. Absolutely, that we are connected, but we have to remember sometimes to reach our hand out and to look up. So thank you so much that this is a journey we take together. And listeners, we are getting ready for our first break, and I invite you to stay in this heart space just a little bit longer and listen to the wisdom that is being spoken to you, what you need, or a reminder of something to support you in living a thriving life. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. ready.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Build your better business. Achieve that goal. Make good on that resolution. The Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you took the opportunity to pause during that commercial break, listen to the wisdom that's being laid upon your heart, and lean in to the rest of our conversation today. My first guest expert is the amazing Julie Kramer. And Julie, I wanted to share just a little bit of your background, so I'm going to take a moment to do that if you're okay with that.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So Julie has over 30 years experience that she's bringing to the work that she does. And she is a speaker, an author, a coach. She has a master's in value conflicts. She is a transition, I'm calling you a transition expert. I know you're a transition coach. And you've worked with corporations, startups, all the way to Fortune 500s. And you've also had the opportunity to walk beside people as a chaplain where they're going through transitions in life as well. So you bring a really rich depth and width of experience to all the work that you do. And it's my honor to officially welcome Julie Kramer to the show.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful to join you. It's just really an amazing show. I'm just amazed.
Well, thank you. I'm really, really glad to have you. And I know that you've been listening to some of the shows and experiencing them. And I have one of my favorite questions that I always like to ask when I'm starting a conversation with one of my guest experts. And it's the why question. I really love to understand why this work of helping people through transitions, whether they're an individual or a company, if it's life transitions or it's business transitions, why is that work personally so important to you?
Well, I think, it didn't really occur to me how important this work was until I became a chaplain. And I got into the most complicated, chaotic family situations. And I began to organize a way to navigate through those situations that would deal with the mind, but also bring them back to their hearts. Mm. And often there'd be conflicts between the brothers and the sisters and the mothers and the fathers and all the relatives. And the only way to really get to agreement was by going deeper and getting out of the mind and going down into the heart. And so then I began to work with that method, and I saw how powerful it was. And I realized that this mirrors my own personal journey, which I happen to be very mental. I'm about 75% conceptual.
And I'm just pausing there because you don't mean mental, how it can be interpreted sometimes.
Oh, right.
Really,
Right.
that you approach things in the mind and from a logical place. I'm just
Exactly.
clarifying.
That's what I mean. Yeah. But all my gifts are in my heart, so I'm constantly struggling to get to the heart's wisdom, and I get frustrated because I'm stuck in my mind a lot of the times. So what I did was I created this method where we go back and forth between the right brain and the left brain, or the right brain is the intuition and feelings and spirit, creativity and beauty, and the left brain is more of the mental, logical side. And so that's the method that I use not only in coaching and also that I used with hospice families, but I also find that that's what I have had to use myself in going through life to get through changes, is I've had to bring my heart's point of view into the dialogue.
Thank you for sharing that. I love this share. I appreciate you opening up your heart to us to help us understand how you arrived at this, and that it is your own journey as well. I think sometimes those become our greatest gifts because we know, especially if our default is to be mental, to go into the mind and build in that way versus necessarily the automatic response of going into the heart. So you really know on an expert level how to pull people from that default going into logic and to really go back into the heart and listen and use all of themselves, their right brain and their left brain. So I love that that's your why and that you've been able to bring it into the work that you're doing today. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so basically, I also have another idea or basic philosophy that I work with, and that is the idea that loss is the foundation for growth and wisdom and maturity, and that the degree to which we mature is the degree to which we are able to translate our sorrows into wisdom.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was just sitting with the share that you shared with us about how you worked with families during those really charged times. And I was thinking back on the years that I was a financial advisor, and I found that as well, that there could be a lot of conflict and a lot of emotion around transitions when somebody passed away or there was inheritance or there was a winning, and they could become extra charged when decisions were needing to be made about how those finances were being handled. And I think what you shared, there is such wisdom in reminding ourselves about what's important, listening to our heart, and what's important to each of us. What is our heart speaking to us as we're looking at building something and moving forward in transitions? So I just really want to keep underlining and echoing your share. I think it was really, really powerful. So thank you.
And I found that when people consult both their head and their heart, they can move forward much faster.
Yes. I was just going to ask, is there a way we can accelerate the process?
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend. And basically, I've actually coached people who had tremendous conflicts between their head and their hearts. And I couldn't get anywhere with them because one day they'd say they want to go this way, and the next day they'd say they want to go that way. But when I finally got down to having a conversation with the head and then a conversation with the heart and brought this up to the consciousness and did a negotiation between the two sides, then we would get somewhere.
Perfect. So I think that is really, really valuable because I think all of us can identify with feeling like we're running this way or that way sometimes, that we're not even grounded. I want to do this or I want to do that, or I need to do this or I need to do that. We can be pulled a lot of directions. And I think there's great wisdom in what you just shared about really pausing and listening to both parts. And is there a conflict, and can we bring them together? And I know that you actually have an example that you've prepared to share with us today about someone who's successfully gone through rapid change using these methods you've been sharing with us. Do you mind sharing that story with us today?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I was working with a very seasoned business development director who had left a corporate job to start up his own business. And when he met me, he had been self-employed for a while, but he wanted to get back into a corporate job, and he actually had an opportunity to go into the corporate world again. And so I was working with him to brand him and get him ready to go back to that corporate job, but I discovered he was conflicted about this. And it turned out in his heart, he had a very deep passion for work that would change the world in a different way. He wanted to bring more diversity forward in the world. But intellectually, he wanted the prosperity and the security of the corporate job. And so the question was how to do both. And after a dialogue between his heart and his mind, we negotiated a settlement that included a way for them to work together. And he's now self-employed, but he's doing a lot of contract work for corporations. And he's actually making more money than before.
Beautiful.
So the method I use is I define the gap, and then we look at your vision, and we take the perspective of the heart, then the perspective of the mind, and then we let go of the old and negotiate a new perspective.
Beautiful. And I think this is really powerful work because our minds can be binary sometimes, black or white, yes or no, on or off. And it likes to think it's this way or that way. And it's mutually exclusive, and that's how it is. You choose. And I think the heart is much better at reminding us that things are not mutually exclusive. They don't need to be mutually exclusive. And we can really bring things together in a powerful way. So that's how I see things. And I love how you're able to help people negotiate those waters and really bring a forward momentum. So thank you for sharing your story. Absolutely. Now we're getting ready to go to commercial break here, and I know you have an amazing gift. Are you able to share it with us in about a minute?
Oh, sure.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
Yes, I would like to invite people to have a 45-minute free coaching session to look into any place that they're stuck and to have an experience of rapid change.
I love it.
That's my gift.
Thank you. And let me tell you, 45 minutes with an expert at no cost is really, really valuable. So I invite you to lean into that opportunity. We're going to let you know how to access that opportunity, but you have to stay to the end of the show, and I will promise to let you know how to access Julie's amazing opportunity. And with that, we are getting ready to go to our commercial break. When you get back, we will be interviewing the amazing Helen MacMillan. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
We're on Facebook along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed the commercial break and that you actually got a chance to listen internally as well as to our sponsors. We have some amazing sponsors that have put together commercials to really connect with you, share about what they do, and they help make this show possible. And the opportunity that we have to reach so many people is because they've decided that empowering women is important to them. And so I invite you, when we do have those commercial breaks, to remember to listen in and get to know some of our sponsors and what they do, because they want to empower you and they believe so much in that they're aligning their time and their energies, their brand and their name with us. And so I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. I appreciate you and that you've united forces and that empowering women is so important to you. So thank you, all of our sponsors. As I promised, we are now going to interview. I'm calling you the dynamic. You noticed that earlier, right, Helen? The dynamic, Helen MacMillan. And I wanted to share a little bit of her background, and I'm actually going to share a little bit of how we met too, if that's okay, Helen.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, very organic. So Helen and I met last year at the eWomen conference, and I saw this person. She was just so vibrant. That's why I've been calling her dynamic and vibrant. She had this beautiful laugh and smile and this great big, beautiful sign that was talking about the $1 million zone. And I thought, this is somebody I want to meet. And I loved when I came over to you that we had an opportunity to connect, and we spent a lot of time just laughing and enjoying getting to know each other. And it was a really, really rich experience. And so something that draws me to you and that I enjoy is your warmth and your personality, and that you can be real and laugh, and yet you have amazing content and wisdom that you bring to the table as well. So just on a personal side, I appreciate that about you. But let me share a little bit of your more formal background. You are the founder and CEO of Helen MacMillan Coaching, an author, a coach, and an international speaker. And you really help people, women entrepreneurs in particular, break through their money blocks so they can step into their $1 million zone. And earlier I was calling it million zone, right? The million zone? Millionaire zone. I know, I was going right to, if we're in our $1 million, let's go be millionaires. And so she clarified that. So if you catch me saying that, it's supposed to be $1 million zone. So Helen, I officially welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have me so zenned out. I don't feel very dynamic today. My voice is very zen.
So we'll be the calm Helen today. Peaceful. Yes. That's fine.
Yes. I have great range.
Exactly. So Helen, I'd love to start with a why. Why is this work of empowering women to push through those blocks, to break through them into their $1 million zone. Why is that so important to you on a personal level, on a professional level?
Yes. So I spent a lot of time outside of my $1 million zone earlier in my life, and which is how I discovered it, yes. And I want to just clarify that the $1 million zone is a state of being, yes. It very much can include $1 million if that is important to you. But it's a very unique place for each person, and it's a blend, but it's a state of, the whole reason I called it the $1 million zone is when you're there, I don't know if you grew up this way, but certainly growing up in Jamaica, we talk about you feel like $1 million, right? If it's a state of vibrancy and of flow and of calm, confident ease and grace, and it's a state of being unstoppable. And it's important to me because when we hit these inner ceilings, when we hit these obstacles and we become stopped, when we step outside of our zone and life is unbearable. I spent many years in and out of depression and not loving myself, not honoring my gifts, trying to be the world's version of Helen instead of who I was created to be, and really knowing who I am at my core, as we all are magnificent beings. And what really drives me is that I believe that all of us have these gifts put inside of us. That's how we are meant to serve humanity and each other, and to receive abundantly in exchange for sharing our gifts, so that we have, in the end, what it looks like is this balance of personal freedom as well as financial freedom. Because unfortunately, the world is set up, fortunately or unfortunately, not attached, the world is such that we do need the financial freedom as well as the personal freedom in order to release the stress and fully participate in life. So it's important to me because I learned very early. My sister died in a car accident when I was 19 and she was 20, and I learned how quickly life and how fleeting life can be. And so it's important that every day count.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I love this reframe in a sense of thinking about $1 million zone, that it's this unique state of being, that what that means to me. So what I take from that, so Rebecca's interpretation is that I could be in that zone the next breath. Like I have a choice to be in the $1 million zone. It's not even dependent on a certain dollar amount. It's not dependent on circumstances in my life. It's how I'm choosing to be in it. Is that a true statement? Would you agree?
Absolutely. So you don't need to wait for, circumstances to change. You have that power. It's a very empowered state of being.
Yes. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Thank you. So I know that you have a process that you use to really help women make this shift and start stepping into that $1 million zone, that state of being and that balance that you talked about. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to. So it's, when you're in a particular state and you want, or standing in a spot and you're here and you want to be over there, you have to make a shift. You have to make a shift. And so this process is actually a 5-step process, and the acronym is SHIFT, which is quite convenient. So SHIFT. And the first step, the S stands for seeing, or awareness, because you can't change what you can't see. So everything begins with awareness. And of course, I have different ways for helping people become more aware. But this is an overview. So the H stands for honor, which is acceptance without judgment. Accepting what is without judging it. Unfortunately, judgment really creates a lot of the stress and the struggle and the heartache for us, and we don't realize it. And it's a process of learning to release judgment. The I stands for identify, which is there's so much that we need to identify. We need to identify what we want, what we prefer, where we want to go to, what's in our way. So those are all the things that we need to identify. And then the F stands for focus, feel, and faith. So, focus, because unfortunately, so many of us don't realize that we're focusing on what we don't want. Yes. And the law of attraction says that what you focus on expands.
And I'm going to stop you right there for a moment, just because because you're giving a lot of great, valuable content, but I want to make sure we're absorbing it. So do you mind if I do that?
Oh, absolutely. No problem.
Okay. So I just want to reiterate some of what you've been sharing in this acronym, this seeing and awareness. I absolutely agree, making sure that we're aware of where we're at and really truly seeing that. I love honoring, because I agree. I think so many of us can be judgmental of ourselves. We talk to ourselves in ways that we would never talk to someone else. We are our worst best friends sometimes. And we could be a much better friend to ourselves sometimes by releasing that judgment, honoring. So thank you for sharing that and identifying where we're at, where we want to go. And then I love the focus. So I just wanted to take a minute and kind of run through that one more time so that those of us who didn't have our pen when you started grabbed it and were able to capture that. So do you mind continuing? I know there's feeling and faith. Absolutely.
So the focus and the feeling piece of the F is that you have to feel it to heal it. Mm-hmm. So often we don't want to feel something because it might be overwhelming or it might feel very negative to us. And what I want people to know is that when feelings come up, they're coming up to leave. Mm-hmm. And when we refuse to feel them for whatever reason, because we're fearful, it's like if you think of it as, when you're on your computer and you want to delete a program, and what happens is you press the delete button, and usually there'll be a pop-up screen that'll say, are you sure you want to delete this? Mm-hmm. And you then have to press the yes button to delete it. So when an emotion comes up, and we refuse in that moment because it's not convenient or it feels overwhelming, we tend to push it back down. We have to stuff and store it. That's the equivalent of pressing the no button instead of the yes button.
No, this is really important. And I am going to stop us here because I want to make sure we take a moment to highlight your gift. And we're going to commercial break in just a moment. So what I thought we would do is when you come back, you'll get to know what she means by the final faith in the F and the T. So that'll be, make sure you come back to hear that. But Helen, can you share about your gift?
Absolutely. The gift is an ebook that I have written. It's called 7 Simple Ways to Shift into Your $1 Million Zone. And it's a wonderful, quick read, but most importantly, it's got, for each one of the 7 ways, you have a specific quick exercise that you can do yourself at home. So I've been blessed to have people contact me and tell me that this little ebook itself has transformed their thinking and their lives. So I'm very thrilled to be able to offer that to your audience today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for making that available. And I love that it's easy. How many of us want something complicated and hard? No. So I appreciate that it's easy steps that we can do at home and start taking immediate action so that we don't have to wait to step into our $1 million zone, into that state of being, but that we can actually do that as easily as 1 through 7 and step forward and say yes. So listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And when we come back, I will tell you how to access the amazing gifts that Julie and Helen are making available. And Helen will share with us the final F and T in her powerful acronym. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Success starts here. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. It's your world.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break and got an opportunity to learn more about our sponsors. And as I promised, I was going to let you know how to access these amazing gifts that we've been talking about today. But first, let me share why. The reason I have my listeners and not my listeners, I love my listeners, but the reason I have my guests provide gifts is because I want you to really have tools and resources to help you apply what we're sharing with you, that you can really get traction in your life and have connections to experts and tools and resources to help you do that. And so I always ask my guests to provide a gift that can help my listeners on their journey. And they've been generous to put together these opportunities so that you can really have a thriving life, that you can build it on purpose and with purpose. So I really invite you to lean into saying yes to these opportunities to connect with experts on a deeper level and get tools and resources, because their heart is to serve you and to empower you on your journey. And that's why they are here today and making their gifts so readily available to you. So here is how you access those gifts. If you're listening to us live on the Voice America page, you look over to the right-hand side and you're going to see free radio show gifts or radio show gifts. You simply click that link and it'll take you right to my landing page that talks about empowerment gifts. You put your name and email address in there so that we can stay in touch, and then you choose the gift or multiple gifts that you would like. You can take as many as you would like, and you'll get to stay in touch with the expert that's providing it, as well as get their amazing free gift. If you're listening to the replay or the audio and you're not necessarily seeing it online, here's the other way you can access the gifts. You simply go to www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. So it's my website, yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. And then you hit the radio tab. And right in the left-hand corner, you're going to see pictures of gifts, and it's radio gifts, empowerment gifts. You simply click on that and you'll have the same opportunity. So I invite you to take the opportunity to talk with Julie directly, get her expert support on transition, or Helen's 7 simple steps to really stepping into the $1 million zone, because we want you to be able to live life in that way. So with that, Julie, I know you put together a last powerful tip that you wanted to share with us. Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, sure. Well, I know we can change our reality. And the funny thing is, ancient sages and quantum scientists agree on the way to do it. They agree that feelings are the language for creating change. And so you can change things by just feeling your feelings and feeling a reality that you want. And the way to do that is support your heart with music, poetry, and beauty, and just take a moment in your day to feel into the future.
I love that. Thank you, Julie, that we have this ability to really build our reality by our feelings. But it takes that consciousness. I think it takes that awareness and choice to build it into our life. So thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Now, Helen, I know we have the last of your acronym that we want to share. We don't want to leave people missing the last letter and the final F.
The last letter. The T stands for Tools for Transformation. And those are different tools that I teach to help people to manage both their mindset and their emotional state of being, their energetic state of being, which is really important because if we don't, it's everything. Your beliefs and your mindset lead to what emotions you feel and will determine your actions that you take. And of course, how you view life. Period. As Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yes.
So it's important to have tools to keep you, because inevitably we'll have challenges and we'll fall off the horse. And it's about how quickly do you get back on. That's what makes you unstoppable.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I think that's a really important reminder, listeners, that, when we go through life, it's not this gentle upward slope of where it all goes that's consistently moving in that direction. It really has its twists and its turns and its ups and its downs, and we can have surprises and circumstances we don't want, but we get to choose our response to that. We get to choose if we're going to pause and take a breath and listen, if we're going to feel into the reality that we want, if we're going to choose to be in the $1 million zone, to have that be the way of life that we're choosing. And I just really want to remind you that every day, every moment is a choice. Breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, you have the opportunity to be who you want to be, to feel into the future, to build the life that you want. And whether you recognize it or not, you're making choices all day long, every breath. And sometimes we're operating in automatic or default. Like we're driving to work or we're driving somewhere, and if we think back, we can't quite remember. Did we close the door? Did we lock it? Well, I must have. I don't remember if I took that turn, because our mind took over, our body took over, created an efficiency so we can get to where we are. We didn't have to remember to breathe, to have the heartbeat. Like, those are great things to have on automatic. But sometimes I think our mind goes too far and we stop deliberately breathing and listening and feeling with our heart and building consciously the life we want to build. And so today, I hope the wisdom that we shared, the insights that were given to you, the tools that are being made available to you will really empower you to build a thriving life, to live your life on purpose, heart, mind, body, and soul, all of you, because all of you matters. You are an amazing gift to each and every person in your life. You're uniquely made, you're extremely valuable, and absolutely needed. And my heart's desire for you as you go forth from today is to take a piece of wisdom that we shared with you and to start applying it in your life, in those pauses, in those breaths, and those heartbeats. Because what I want for you is to always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.